go to. So. All right, remember, edit all that out. Let's do this thing. So, we're going to talk about MOFIR, mini chat, and appointment in this meeting. And so, what we're going to be looking at today is truly how to make sure that your social media is working for you to bring in business as you are not actively doing this. What we understand is this: as we're going in and we're trying to build these businesses. And we're doing these things that we need to be making sure that we're taking as much mind share as we possibly can. There's nothing new about that concept. And yet, when we're going through, we know that there's two ways to do this. We can either market or we can prospect, right? I can either go out and cast a wide net marketing, or I can throw the fishing pole out there, the fishing line, and I can do prospecting, more one-to-one or one-to-many. And yet, when we're looking at this, there's no judgment in this. Most real estate agents are not going to go through and they're not going to be making all the phone calls that we know that they need to make to be able to have the business that we know that they're looking to get. So let's figure out some different things that we can go through and to take as much mind share as possible because we know that the market share follows. So as we're going through this, this is the conversation today. We're going to go in, we're going to talk about let's build a MOFIR that people actually want. We're going to talk about a script and maybe filming some video, create the mini chat automation, turn the conversations into appointments, get eyes on your MOFIR. We're going to measure it, improve it, scale it, and then we're at the very end, we're going to put this whole thing together. And so when we're looking at this, we need to know what the MOFIR stands for, right? This is a make an offer for immediate response. And this is not a new principle, right? Gary Keller introduced this in his Shift book. And what this is a super compelling market specific prompt that's going to get someone to raise their hand. And it's typically what we're talking about is buyers. It could be sellers, depending on what your MOFIR is, but we understand this. When we're talking about who we're going to be able to more likely be able to get someone to raise their hand, the bigger pool is going to be buyers. Right? Like when you're looking at this, your buyers are going to be your bigger population of people that are going to be closer to the finish line versus a seller. And yet, we should probably have a handful of different MOFIRs for any given time. And what we understand is this, the market's continuously changing, right? If we were to look back from 2020 to today, 6 years worth of time, we went from 0% interest rates, right, all the way up to 8. And now we're closer to 6. And yet, actually, we're probably closer to 7 at this point. And yet, these are the different things that are happening. And so we have to know what's going on at this given time so that we can have a compelling offer so that someone says, you know what? Life happened. Death, divorce, babies, transfer, unfortunately getting fired, right? Any of these different things could be happening inside of our ecosystem. And so, how can we have a message that gets someone to raise their hand? And that brings us to this market of the moment. All right. So when we talk about the market of the moment, again, this goes back to the shift book. So what we need to do is we need to master highly localized buying conditions for 2026 because who cares what happened in 2025, 24, 23, 22, right? We can look at back in our previous marketing and we're talking about marketing. Remember, this isn't prospecting. I'm not saying you're going to give up on open houses. I'm not saying you're going to give up on door knocking or cold calling. If that stuff's working for you, it's working for you. Yet we do know that our messaging needs to change. Like I saw a commercial the other day and the commercial was going around and talking about how most people don't know this, and that's the hook, right? Most people don't know this, but they've been overpaying for their hotels, right? Like that's the commercial. For some reason, that's sticking in my head right now because I feel like I've seen it too many times over a short amount of a time period. And yet that's what their marketing, their moment is they're saying like, hey, people are going out, they're purchasing hotel rooms, and what they don't understand is that they're overpaying for those hotels, and that is their market of the moment. So Those are the two things that we're going to make sure that we're keeping in the back of our mind is that we need to have a MOFIR, that make offer for immediate response, and we need to match that MOFIR with the market of the moment, right? Because that's what matters. And so when we think about this, these are what we're looking at, right? When, as real estate agents, we get into this point to where we think that this message matters to the people in this environment, and most of the time it doesn't, right? Most of the time, the messaging that we're putting out does not resonate with the people that we're trying to resonate to. And we're thinking like people should care about this, and yet they don't. All right. So what we need to do is we need to give something that people are actually searching for. And so when we're talking about our MOFR, that's the frame that we need to be looking through. The lens that we need to be looking through is what are consumers looking for today? Not necessarily what they need. What are they Googling? What are they on Instagram? What are they on TikTok? What are they doing on when they're looking for real estate? So, are people searching for grant list in 2026 right now? Are people interested in the hidden cost of buying a home? Are they looking for first-time home buyer kits, home valuation reports, seller prep lists? Like, guys, think about this. Like, who's Googling right now and they're getting on there and they're saying, like, what do I need to do to sell my house? What do I need to buy a home? Are there any incentives for first-time home buyers? Right? Like those are the things that people are Googling. Those are the things that we need to create our MOFers around, right? If we're going to go through and we understand that social media and people are using TikTok, they're using Instagram, they're using YouTube, and Google is actually citing all those sources now, why isn't our messaging that way? And that's what it needs to look like. How many people are going through and searching for homes under $500,000 in the area? Anything and everything that we are doing needs to have the messaging around what people are searching for on the social channels and or Google at this point. Again, you might think like that someone needs to go talk to a lender and like the first step in the buying process to go talk to a lender and maybe someone is going to go through and search that. But most likely they're going to go through and they're going to say, what do I need to buy a home in 2026? What are interest rates in 2026? How much money down do I need to purchase a house, right? Like those are the things that we should be thinking about when we are creating our marketing materials that we are going to let run free from social media onto Google to see how many people raise their hand and to interact with us. So, I also like this, like as we're going through and we're talking about this, best coffee shops to work from, right? What would it look like if we're going through and as we had that call with the Colorado region for the regional rally where we brought on Day, and Day was having a conversation with us about how a lot of the stuff that he's doing is he's checking out the local restaurants. He's walking the neighborhoods of what is happening in the areas, right? Like all of these things that is going through that is happening. Why wouldn't we go put out content that is specific to coffee shops in the area? Because this is what we also understand. We also understand that people are going through and they're moving from other areas and relocating into Colorado. And where are they starting? They're starting on Google or they're starting on social media, which it doesn't matter which one it is because we know that they're talking these days. So, what is the message that we are putting out there that people are searching for that they're going to land on us? And we can either go top of the funnel, we can go middle of the funnel. The bottom of the funnel is where it gets a lot more expensive and a lot harder to do. So we can go more so to where we're just going to go surface level of this is what's happening in the area and we know people are searching for because that's where they're going to start their home buying process. Or we can actually say this is what it costs, this is down payment assistance, these are the other things, and we go more towards the middle of the funnel. But yet I think we need to cover that entire span. We need to live in this entire area with our messaging, and we know that we will start to win. So let's spend some time on one of these MOFIRs. And this is your first time home buyer credits. All right. So first time home buyer credits. And I actually went through and this is a still because this is what I also understand. I also understand that while I can tell everyone that you need to be on video, that there's going to be a lot of people that are like, Charles, there's no way I'm going to do video. There's some of you that are going to go out and say, like, maybe I'll just create virtual AI driven videos of myself. And there's going to be some of you that will create the video. And so let's just go through and talk about all of it. And let's just live with the still. So this is first time home buyer credits. All right. And if you're asking yourself, what is a first time home buyer credit? So's the person reading it, but yet we know that this is going to potentially get some hands raised. And so the messaging reads this, thinking about buying your home, your first home, but not sure what your financial assistance is available. That's the question. That's the hook. Thinking about buying your first home, but not sure the financial assistance is available. That's the first thing. And so people are like, oh, yeah, you know what I am thinking and what is available? And I said, listen, there are first-time homebuyer credits, grants, down payment assistance programs that may help make home ownership more affordable. Cool. Like, I need that. It's expensive in Colorado. Our price point is $600,000. Couple that with a 6% interest rate. Put on top of that the 20% down, which I've been told is what I have to bring down, which we as real estate agents know that's not true. But does the general public know that? They're thinking, I will never, I'm going to be living in my parents' basement eating avocado toast for the rest of my life.
Oh,
And so, do I, Megan?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I was just laughing about avocado
Oh,
toast, but I didn't realize I was off mute. I'm sorry.
no, no, you're good. You're good. So then when we go through, it says the challenge is knowing which programs exist and whether you qualify for them. Like there's so many out there. But guess what? We did the research so you don't have to. We put together a complete list of free first-time homebuyer credits and assistance programs in one easy to reference guide. Comment credit below and I'll send you the list directly. Guys, there it is. Like we went through and it says whether you're planning to buy this year or just exploring your options, knowing what's available makes the decision easier. So what did we do here? What we did was we said, hey, we understand that people are thinking that Colorado is unaffordable and that the home ownership is unattainable. And what we're saying is we're going to solve that problem for you. We actually went out, we did a bunch of research, so much more research than you want to do because I'm the expert. I know where to go, I know who to contact. I put this thing together. And so I created this entire list that I'm going to share with you, whether you're buying tomorrow or you're buying 5 years from now. Let me be a helpful resource for you guys. And in this example, we're using ManyChat. We're using a comment to get this response, right? This is where ManyChat pops up. ManyChat's going to go through. Someone's going to say like, hey, you know what that is? Me, hit credit. And you're going to send me a PDF and you're already prepping me. It's going to go to my inbox. So there's going to be somewhere along the lines where I am putting my at whatever.com and there's going to be some kind of communication going back and forth. And what we understand is this is that guys, hashtags are dead, right? Like hashtags are a thing of the past. Like you're not searching for hashtags anymore. Hashtags don't necessarily help with reach anymore. So we're not worried about hashtags, right? I see Debbie on the call, unless we're using hashtags for like expression, we're not going to really be doing any hashtagging outside of three. You can have 3 to 5, right? Like, and they're doing more and more research that says none actually matters anymore. Like you can get away with doing zero. You'll see a lot of the posts that I'm doing right now where I have zero hashtags and I'm not even utilizing hashtags anymore because they do not matter. So what we do is we go through and we're just making sure that our prompt that and our caption is going to go through and to be searchable based off of how people are searching. And this is the first time homebuyer credits. And honestly, guys, this is what I would implore everyone to do. Like whether you're going to screenshot this or you're looking at this as inspiration, I would just go into Google Gemini and it has Nano Banana that is attached to it that you get at no added cost with your KW Technology Suite. And I would say give me a fun looking house like this. If you're just going to copy and just say, like, rip this off, duplicate it, give me something similar to this. Or just tell it to prompt this, like, give me a Colorado looking home that someone would want, make it visually appealing by putting in maybe some fireworks, the blue sky, the whatever, overlay it with first time home buyer credits, and make it in a size for Instagram. And that's how I would do this. Like I would just go run through and do it. Because guys, here's the deal. Like when I made this, I had it in a different version and I just threw it up in AI and I said, hey, make this so I can put it into Instagram real quick. And it did this for me. So what we need to probably be looking at is like, who do you want to have a conversation with? What's your target audience? Like when you're going through this, what are you doing? Right? What's our goal? Are we looking to build trust? Are we looking to capture an active audience? Are we looking to just create some curiosity? Are we looking to grow our social channels? Are we just doing some ongoing lead generation? And here are the things that we could be doing. We could be giving away a buyer's guide, a seller's checklist, your grant list. Here's the homes under X amount of dollars, new listings in the area, open houses. Maybe it's a payment calculator, home value, rent versus buys, pros and cons, right? Coffee shops in the areas, events that are happening, hidden gems, right? Like, guys, here's all the things that people are looking for. Like, people are searching for this information. People could be going through and searching for the best real estate agent in the area. People could be looking for 123 Main Street, I guess, but most people aren't. So when you're going through and you're like, but I'm advertising my listing, guys, advertising your listing is just to show the world that you're not dead. That's all that advertising your listing on social media does. Most of the time, you're not like, oh my God, I was scrolling through Facebook today, and thank God you put your listing on Facebook because I was actually looking for this particular house. And I'm not saying it can't work, but what I'm saying is our messaging on social media when we're looking to get more hands in the air has to be around something that people are truly looking for and how can we take their attention and get them to want to have a conversation with us? Price drops, new listings, market updates, any of these things can happen as we're going through. We just need to make sure that the messaging matches how people are searching. So let's switch gears and let's talk about the social media video side of this, right? We went through and we did look at the still because again, I do think that there's going to be moments where this makes sense, right? To where we're going through and we can just put a stagnant image out on social media and it will hunt. Like it absolutely will. Like this will work. And yet, when I'm going through and I'm looking at this, how can I create more trust? Because what we also know is this. They've been doing more and more polls, and the polls have been showing that when we're looking to create consumer trust with our buyers, with our sellers, with insert whoever, from the brand perspective, that we need to be able to differentiate between AI and a real image. And so I don't know about you guys, but I've had more and more conversations where people are not trusting what they're seeing. They're saying that has to be AI. Is that real? And so this is a lot harder to fake versus a stagnant image. So I'm going to implore everyone on this conversation today to be able to go through and create a video. Get in the habit of creating more videos to where people can see that you're a real human and that you're someone that can have a conversation with them. And so let's talk about this formula for creating a reel, a vertical image, right? We hold the camera like this, we don't hold it like this. If you're holding your camera like this, we got a ways to go. Everything we need to be doing, we need to be holding the camera like this, vertical, not horizontal. So we're talking about vertical videos. So we need to get one video with one idea to get someone to take one action. That's all we're looking to do. And so people have to think what the conversation's truly about. You've lost them. This is where AI pops in, and AI helps us out a lot, right? We can actually go through and we can tell AI that we're looking to create some content. We need our call to action, we need our hook, we need the body. This is the conversation, put a stat in there, insert whatever here. And when we look at this, the very first part is the hook, right? We're not going to have a conversation on how to build this because I think we've had enough conversations with this group to where you understand just go to Gemini, which again, you all have at no added cost. If your favorite tech stack is ChatGPT, rock and roll. If it's Claude, do it, right? Like whatever you want to do. I mean, I think that you could almost even just even go to Google on Google's main page, and I'd be willing to bet, while I haven't attempted this, I bet you could go onto Google right now and just tell Google like, "Hey, what would a good script look like around this?" And I bet Google AI would probably create a script for you. Flying without a parachute, but I'm not going to fact check myself right now. But we need a hook. And so we need to stop the scroll. And we hear hooks, right? We see hooks. There are all kinds of different hooks where we can go through, we can do something with our camera to make someone stop scrolling. We can go through, we can do something with the video and an action that I take that would make someone stop scrolling, right? We see these, right? Where people are going through and they get hit by the car or the car's backing up on them. I see a lot of car ones. People trip and fall, people get, they get hit with the pan, right? Like you've seen all those are hooks. Every one of those is a version of a hook, but there's a lot of verbal hooks as well. And so, what should your hook do? Well, it creates curiosity. It's solving a pain point. You're surprising someone. You're bringing value. Like that is the first thing. Remember, you have 3 seconds. You have 3 seconds to get someone to stop scrolling. So that's why your video needs to have something going on. Maybe it's an image in the very beginning that is going to create enough curiosity for someone to stop scrolling because they want to know what it is. There's a lot of movement in the video. There is words on the screen. We need to have this hook. So some of your hooks would be like, most people don't know. Before you buy a home, if you're buying a home in Arvada, Colorado, I spent hours researching first-time home buyer credits. You're probably making this mistake right now if you're purchasing a house. Guys, those are hooks. You're curious. You're curious on the mistake that you've done. You're curious about all the research that I did as long as it's in a space that you're looking at. All right. So as we're going through, you need a hook. 0 to 3 seconds. Figure out what it is. And that's what we're going to insert into every one. Guys, the biggest mistake is this. And we've had this conversation. So this is nothing new to most of you on this call, is that I'll go through and we're going to create a video. Let me just grab this. And a lot of agents are going through and they're recording a video and they're saying, "Hey, everyone." Who's everyone? There is no everyone. Like, while I can only see Chris's face as he's multitasking right now, the only thing that Chris is doing is he's on the call by himself. There isn't even a whole bunch of people behind him right now watching the video with him, right? Like that's not real. So don't say, "Hey everyone," because guess what? People are not on social media together like this. It's one to one. Yes, my message is one to many, but my conversation is with one person. So let's get out of the "hi everyone," "hey y'all," whatever that may look like for you, and let's hit them with the "hey, you and I are having this conversation, and I spent hours researching first-time homebuyer credit so you don't have to." And I'm talking to that person. They're like, "Oh my goodness, gift from God. I was looking to purchase a house, and this real estate agent just popped on my feed, and he's going to tell me how to save money." The next part of this is now we got to deliver value, right? We hooked them, but now we got to deliver value. All right. And this is where most people lose people. And this is where the algorithm really plays in. Guys, if you're looking at the algorithm's giving you credit for every second you keep people. The longer you keep people on your post, the more times Mark Zuckerberg is going to push your post out to more people. So if you're losing people in the first 2 seconds because your hook sucks, it's going to show it to less people. Because remember, this is an experiential platform. Instagram and Facebook are where people go to look at cat videos, right? They're looking to be entertained. And so we have to have valuetainment, right? We're having to deliver valuetainment to our people. We're going to go through, we have our messaging because we know that we can help people, but we have to deliver it in a way that is going to do the only reason why they're on Instagram was to be entertained. So now we're going through and we're saying, hey, how are we going to explain this? We're not going to read a PDF, right? We're selling it. I'm not going to say, like, hey, here are all the things that we're going to do for you. I am selling the reason for the PDF. So there are grants, there are down payment programs, there are local assistance in our area, there are income limits. Most people hear about them because they're spread across dozen websites, right? Like that's what this looks like. So far I spent hours researching first-time home buyer credits so that you don't have to. There are grants. There are down payment programs. There are local assistance. There is income limits, but most people never hear about them because they're spread across dozens of websites. And I organized it into one list for you. Right? Like, guys, that's the conversation. So we're going through, we hooked them. We said, hey, here's the pain point. Then we told them exactly what we did. We created a little bit of drama and we put it in a list. I have a whole PDF for you. But now we need a call to action, right? That's your CTA. And here's the thing, don't ask people to DM you, guys. Like, how many times have you gone through and you've been like, oh my God, that is such a captivating message to that person. I am going to slide into their DMs and ask them more. Like, it might for one-off stuff, but for the most part, you're not doing that. Never say, reach out if you have questions. Because guess what? I'm just looking. I actually don't have any questions. I'm just looking. Thank you. Thank you for entertaining me for a couple of seconds, but I'm not going to go and do all that. Instead, just give them the action. This is why we like ManyChat. It says comment credit and I'll send it to you. Comment list, comment buy, comment value. Guys, easy, simple, one word, because here's the deal. Firstly, what we want is conversations on this platform because we're going to get rewarded more because we're telling the platform, we're telling Mark Zuckerberg, like, hey, this person and I are having a conversation. I'm actually keeping them on your platform with my post. You can see all the conversations back and forth. This is what you want. Reward me, put my messaging out to more people. And we're only keeping it one word because people are lazy. Like, I don't want to type out a whole sentence. And honestly, like, I suck at spelling. Make it easy. Make it easy for me. So give me a simple word that I know how to spell that I'm not going to have to go second guess. And if we're using ManyChat, ManyChat's going to do the rest of the automation. I set it up one time. You set it up one time, you set it and forget it. If it works, it's going to hunt for forever for you. Now, here's the deal. I would say this isn't on here. We're going to talk about the how to set this thing up here in a second. But what I would also say is, guys, as you're putting this thing on there, make sure that you're not sending this out to multiple sites. Like, you know how where the meta universe lets you go through and say, if I send it to Instagram, also send it to Facebook. ManyChat doesn't work on Facebook. It will work on Messenger, and you can do that. It works on WhatsApp. It will do that. Like if you want to slide into someone's WhatsApp, I don't know if anyone's ever done one of those and got a WhatsApp message. It's super odd. But don't send this to multiple sites. Like send it to the one site that you're working on only. So where do we create all this, right? So we've gone through, we've talked about doing your stagnant posts, and I do think the stagnant post hunts. Then we started talking about, okay, well, we need to create a script, a mini commercial, if you will. And we talked about how we need a hook, we need the body of the messaging, and we need a call to action. Well, where do we do all that? And this is where the Edits app comes in play. All right, so we have this Edit app, and this Edits app is a free app. It is $0 to use any of the features in this app. This isn't a use it, and if you want something better, pay $10. It's all free. $0. And coincidentally, it's actually owned by Meta. Meta went out and created this, and they created it to compete with CapCut. They created it to compete with the Captions app. They created it to compete with all of these other products. They said, like, why wouldn't we want to control all the data for the people that are putting information onto our site? And so they're like, we're cutting out the middleman. All right. And so when you go into the Edits app, whether you're on an iPhone or a Samsung, and you go through and you create and you download it, these are the things that you have inside of this app. Firstly, you have trending music. Guys, here's the neat thing. What we understand is as we're creating content, we need to have trending music. And what's also cool about this is I don't care if you're at volume 1 or volume 100. I sent one out the other day that was actually really loud that I probably should have actually turned it down so you could hear me better, but I wanted to see what would happen. And yet, it doesn't even matter if the music can be heard. You just need to have the trending music on there because it rewards you for using trending music. And the neat part about using the Edits app versus the CapCut or versus Captions or whatever else that you're using is that in the Edits app, it's telling you what the most downloaded music is at that time being used. There's no delay. There's nothing that is a pause to you, so you're actually getting real-time information to see what is actually hunting. Also, if it's under 60 seconds, right? So that's also one of the also important reasons for why we're doing reels under 60 seconds is that you get to use the entire music length for that 60 seconds. You go over 60 seconds, then that's when it actually breaks and you can't use the royalty-free music anymore because now you've gone over 60 seconds and it breaks their licensing agreement. You could put two songs if you wanted to, but then that's too much work for me, unlike my balloons. So then we also have the green screen. Guys, there's a green screen after that. So maybe you're doing a conversation and you're putting behind you an article or you want some kind of space. Guys, the green screen is in there. Recording limits and countdowns. So maybe you want to set up the camera. You don't want to hold it, which you could. And you want to set up the camera and you say, hey, start recording in 5 seconds. Let me walk back a little bit. Hey, I only need this to be a 60-second video. So at 60 seconds, cut off. And that will also make sure that you're speeding up through your teleprompter as well to where you see that you have a countdown and you're just going to run out of time. So it actually forces you to get through the conversation a little bit quicker. You can set up the speed of how fastly you want this video to go. The teleprompter, this is the most important thing. We're going to AI. AI is giving me my hook, my body, my call to action, and putting it in a cadence to where we know that it's going to go from SEO and AEO because that's important because Instagram is watching videos and listening videos and pushing it to Google, which is also doing the same thing and ranking you up. That if we want to read the teleprompter to make sure that we're hitting all the important stuff, that teleprompter app is just going to scroll through and tell you every word that you're supposed to say based off of what Google Gemini just gave you at no added cost in your tech stack. And we can put in filters, right? You can go through, you can put in all the filters. So guys, that's one thing that everyone needs to do is you need to go get the Edits app. It's $0. It's absolutely free and start playing with this. One of the things that I do is I actually go through and I go through the Edits app and I will actually go create a video and I will just put it through the Edits app after I use another party to create the video. So sometimes I'll go through, I'll create a captions video, and I will then upload that video into edits, and edits will reward you even for using that. So that's another reason to use it is the edits app. The CEO has come through and said, listen, we are going to reward people on our platform for using our product. So even if you don't make it in there, as long as you upload it in there and send it off, you still get credit. So yeah, Chris, I mean, like there's certain pieces, there's certain aspects that I am doing in the edits app. Like there's sometimes where I'll just roll through it. When you see like my highly curated ones where there's a lot of B-roll and stuff, no, that's that's um that's manual labor.
Okay, that was what I was curious about because I've seen some of your newer videos that are a lot more intense it looks like with the editing and stuff. So you're saying you create that somewhere else with, more elbow grease in there and then you'll actually still pull that into the edits after you have it created?
Yeah, and yet you could. I mean, there's overlays. There's overlay buttons as you're going through and editing. Because I'm just showing you like this is just the filming part. This isn't even the editing part. This is really just like you don't see captions anywhere on this screen, right? Like this is literally just where I go to film it. There's a whole nother section where you go back in the back and you can edit it if you want to where you can overlay different music, you can put photos, you can put stickers, you can do all kinds of stuff in there. So it can be done. It's just a little bit more cumbersome.
Would you mind sharing what you use then? Like, because like some of your new videos are, it's like the shaking screen or something, or a lot of, big stuff coming at it. What do you use for that kind of video?
So I use Opus Clip is what I've been using to build all of mine. And I use Opus Clip for more than one reason. Opus Clip has a fee, and so I also use it for my stacked head videos. So like when you're seeing like Russ and I have the conversation and like our heads are over top of one another or whatever, or
Hmm.
there's a video screen and then a talking head, that's all Opus Clip. It allows you to stack videos simpler.
Okay.
That was the impo that was the reason for getting Opus Clip, and then we realized that it was easier to manipulate videos in Opus Clip as well. It just had more usability. But again, I would go into edits. You can actually go through and grab segments and do all this stuff through there.
Okay.
Megan?
Charles,
Yeah.
you said that you prefer Opus Clip because it's easier, it sounds like, for like the more intensive edits. But do you have a suggestion for a free app like
Well, that's what I'm
CapCut
saying.
or
You can
something?
do this. You can absolutely use this for that.
Right. I
I'm
thought you
just
were saying that this is more labor intensive with edits. To
versus
use
versus an Opus Clip it is,
okay.
yes.
Okay. So
But
you
in the
would still
grand
recommend edits then.
Absolutely, because you can do it. Like, here's the thing, mine are just super curated.
Hmm.
And honestly, I'm not doing it. I have someone else, like, I pay someone to do it, and I'm doing so many of them now
Yeah.
that, like, it's a full-time job for someone just to create social media content for me. Like, I send a full marketing package every week of these are the carousels that I want created, like all the carousels. Like, I said, this is my carousel. This is the video that I'm doing. This is the still, like I send all this and it's getting fired off. If I had 2 hours of my life to like go create that video, because that's what it would probably take in the grand scheme of things for me to do it.
Mhm.
It could all be done from here for $0.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, guys, if you played with like CapCut, where you just upload the photos and everything, there's a whole section for that in here too. So if you're just looking for like multiple photos to get fired off, or even some of the trending, they have templates, like templates and everything are in here as well. So you can say these four things in this template, all that's in here. So it'll say create a 4 second video for this section, create a 2 second video for this section, and right where the guy gets hit with the car and then the weird sound hits, and that's your hook. Like those templates are in there in this edits app that you can use. So it's all doable. So let's talk about the workflow inside of ManyChat, because I think that's where we're going to lose a lot of people is that you're like, well, what does this look like? So I literally just went and took the 4 screenshots. This is literally all you're looking at. This is one page of information. This is all you have to do. You log into ManyChat. Okay, it's 2 pages. I lied. It's 2 pages. You log into ManyChat and you say create. And it says, well, what are we creating? And you say, well, I want to create this auto DM links from a comment because that's what we've been talking about today. You can say, like, if someone follows you, it will send them a DM and say, hey, why are you following me? Like in a nicer way, not like that. That's kind of like bullying. Like, why did you follow me, weirdo? Like, don't do that. Generate leads with stories. Like that's one of the ones that Lauren Lucas says she's been like experimenting with, and it's been a lot harder is the stories one. Send affiliated links, products, grow your followers from comments. Like you can do all that. Respond to all your DMs. Like someone DMs you and you can say like, send this back to them. Like if any of you guys have that problem, that's a great problem to have to where you're getting so many DMs you can't even respond to these people. That'd be super cool. But yeah, what we're talking about is auto DM from comments. So I click that. That's the popular one. That's what everyone's using. Like that's all over my Instagram right now because I click on stuff and it follows me for forever. So we say yes. So I click that button and then we go to screen number two. Like that's what pops up. Screen number two, it says, cool, your Instagram's connected. Which Instagram video are we going to do? Or still, it could be either one. It could be a stagnant photo or the video. And you can say, well, I want this comment to be on a specific video or reel or post or reel. I want it to be on any post or reel. Like maybe you're just like, I don't even care what they comment on. If they give me that one word, send them this. Now that gets a little wild. Like don't put anything that someone could like so don't put like cool or neat or whatever because you're gonna be DMing all kinds of people for no reason at that point. Or my next poster reel. You could set this up and you could actually just do this workflow first, then go record the video. And as soon as it uploads from Instagram, these are connected. Like, guys, there's no other steps. Instagram and ManyChat are connected together. You are not having to upload the video in there. You're not having to do any of this. This is connected to your Instagram account. So what I do is I have specific posts, and so it gives me all of my videos, everything that's connected to this, the Colorado region, because that's what we're playing off of right now. And so it says, this is the video that I want. And it says, cool. What word? That's the next part. You can see that that's the dot. It says, what word do you want? So you say, this is my word. And some of ours, maybe we were doing credits, buy, sell, list, something. You scroll down, we're still on the same page. You go to number 3. It says, cool, they comment that. What do you want to say to them? So it says this. This is it. This is the next thing that it does. It gives you this. Well, then you can see that it says, okay, cool. So there's the opening DM. And they say, yeah, send me the link. And then you can say, awesome. Well, do you want them to follow you first? You guys, you can say, listen, before I give this to you, I need you to follow me. That could be a part of it. You could go through and you could say, I need your email, right? Because maybe you already put in there, it says, I'll email you the list. And you say, awesome. I'm going to send you that. What's that email address? Now you get their email address, right? So now you're getting all this information for your lead gen. And maybe you don't want any of this. Maybe you're just trying to grow your following and you're not going to put any friction in there. And as soon as they comment it, they get it all for free. They don't need to follow you. They don't need to give you their email. You're just firing off this information. I do want to call this out. You guys can see this piece right here on number 2. Again, same screen. It says reply to their comment under the post. You can set up to 3 different auto replies. So if someone comments the word list, you could have it say, awesome, check your DMs, just sent you a DM, sweet, look at the DMs, right? Like you figure out something better than that. But yet you can have it set to where it auto rotates through those 3 different responses. So it's not the same sent, 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 right? And again, remember, we want Instagram to reward us. So we want this checked on. You guys at least want the 1. You most likely want 3. And this is just what it looks like. This is just the workflow, guys. Like here's the video. They comment. The comment goes here. We can have it say, respond for us, and then it sends them a DM. Guys, that's the true workflow right there. It all moves through this way. This is not hard. And I think you get like 15 free ones a month. Set one up. You have nothing to lose by setting this thing up and doing the free account and just see if it hunts. Because guess what? Here's the deal. Let's just say you do the free one and like you get like 30 people responding that they want your list. Like, is that the worst thing in the world that would happen? That tells me that you did something right and you probably need to figure out a way to maybe just throw some money at it and do an ad out of it and see how many more people you can get out of it. And let's spend some money at that point. So this is at $0. It links to your Instagram account, so that you're really this is all the work. Like literally, this is the point of this screen is this is literally all you have to do. You film the video, you put it on your Instagram, you log into ManyChat.com, and you tell it what you want it to do, guys. This is literally two screens. This is all this thing is. You don't have to upload anything. You don't have to do anything else. It's all just there. Any questions about this workflow right here? Cool. So the link that you guys should be doing, yeah, Claude will build out a plan. Absolutely. Yeah, like just tell Claude what you want it to do. Even ChatGPT has a feature where you can just like turn it around and say, help me work through what I'm looking at. And it will look at your screen and it will walk you through what you need to be doing. So 100%, great point. So maybe you also want to send them a link to book an appointment with you. Well, what this looks like is this. I went through and I said, well, we could do it for dollars, and maybe I want a Calendly, or maybe I just want to use my Keller Williams tech stack and just use the built-in appointment feature in my Gmail account, which you all have at zero extra dollars. And so when I look at this, so Calendly, right? So Calendly, it does have more automation features that you could hook up to ManyChat or a Zoom or insert whatever here. Like there's more workflows associated with the Calendly piece. And it's not just a Gmail account. So like you can actually set it up to where there's a pretty header and there's all kinds of other stuff. There's more workflow to where it could send them a text message and like reminders and all that. So, like, yes. But to get all those features, it costs money. So I would say like that's one of the things, as well as now you're just managing another tool. You're having to go into Calendly, manage Calendly, then you're putting it into your mini chat through Insta, right? Like you're just managing a lot of stuff. Whereas my Google Calendar, there's a button at no added cost to your KW technology stack to where you can go through and you can say whatever it is, and you pick the times. You say, for this particular meeting, I will do a Google Meets with this person for 15 minutes or a phone call or an in-person meeting. You can set up whatever you're wanting to do, and it will drop directly onto your Google Calendar at no extra dollars. This is 100% free. If you guys go into your Google Calendars right now, on the left-hand side, there's a scheduling applet. You click on it and you can make something new. This could be 15-minute buyer consult. This could be 15-minute buyer consult. That's speed dating at that point. Don't do that. But like you can pick whatever types of meeting you want. You can set like these are the office hours for that, right? Like for this type of meeting, I'm willing to do this on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 2 only. Or you can say for this type of meeting, this is a Thursday at 1 o'clock. Like you can set the specific meeting for when you want it and put it in there. And so, guys, this Google Calendar app is pretty slick for, again, zero extra dollars. So, guys, as we went through this, this is what we're looking at, right? We're creating the MOFIR. And again, it has to be in the market of the moment. Remember, that's what's important. Just because we think that it's valuable, what are people searching for today? What are the pain points that people are going onto Google, people are on social media looking at? We're going to use AI to create the script for us. Whatever that script or caption is, we're just going to use it, right? We're going to put it in, we're going to have it hunt for us, we're going to pull it through. Film your video. You could do the stagnant photo, but yet I'm going to challenge everyone to do the video. And if you're looking at number 3 right now, you're like, oh my God, Charles, they broke the only rule, and they did. You're doing it vertical. Do not do it horizontal. Only vertical videos. We're going to use ManyChat. ManyChat's logo is an octopus. That's why it's an octopus. We're going to use that to automate everything. We publish the content, guys, and it's just going to generate conversations. Remember, the whole purpose of this is to get into as many conversations as we can, put them through the pipeline. Because remember, here's the thing. For those that went and had the conversation with Lauren Lucas, And we talk about the 400 deals that she did last year. You know how many conversations that was that she had to push through that pipeline? That some of them didn't even get to the Calendly link. So this is working, and we need so many conversations. So you want to cast different nets. You want to monitor them. You want to make sure that they're making sense and that they're doing something. If it's not doing what you want it to do, pull it out and put a new one in. That's the beautiful thing about here, guys. Literally, what are we spending time on? This process is like 10 minutes, maybe the first time you did it, because we're going to AI, we're creating the thing. We're getting that script, we're pasting it into the edits app, we're creating the video. Then we're going through and we are posting it on social media. We're building the mini chat automation and we're just letting it go. And that's our lead generation. That is how we build this repeatable lead generation machine that's just going to work while we're sleeping. With that, guys, want to open it up? Comments, questions, concerns? Guys, in all of these, any one of these would work. You can see there's a carousel, it would work on a carousel. There's a video, it will work on the video. The still stagnant photo, it will work on that. All of these, it will work on. It will move on whatever you want it to do.
So I know that you said it would like take it from our Instagram or whatever we're using, but can we also just upload the things that we want to use for it, or does it have to be off one of those apps?
If you're wanting to use ManyChat only works in TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, okay.
It doesn't mean that you can't do a manual task. Like you could do absolutely a manual task that comment this for that, but this is what we know, speed to lead matters. And I think
Mm.
it's like a 20x conversion rate if you talk to someone within the first 6 seconds of them talking to you. And so that's why ManyChat comes in is that they say something because they're interested. You're saying something directly back. They're still on the same screen. But yet, if someone comes in at midnight and messages you, and hopefully you're all in bed by then, I know I am, and you go through and you wake up at 5:30 and there's been 5.5 hours since they messaged you, likelihood of them coming back to continue the conversation's a lot less likely. That's why we like ManyChat to keep the conversation going quicker. Great question. Any other questions? Cool, cool. Awesome, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm excited to see what you guys make.
Thanks,
Bye
Charles.
all. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.